Dun, dun, ta-da-da-ta. Dun, dun, ta-da-da-ta, ta-da-da-ta. Goo-ah. Dun, dun, ta-da-da-ta.
Conor McGregor confirms he's making a return, teasing a possible fight during International Fight Week. He calls himself Mr. Confidence and says he's excited to get back in the action, sending a message to fans and the promotion alike. Conor McGregor said, "The rumors are true. Mr. Confidence returns to save fighting again. Hey Paramount, see you guys soon. I'm so excited." Joe Rogan calls Conor McGregor the biggest personality in MMA, saying no one comes close. He expresses hope that McGregor is truly returning, highlighting the star power and charisma he brings to the sport.
Well, I really hope he is actually back. I hope it's true. It'd be fun to see him fight a few more times.
It'd be a lot of fun to see him
Greatest personality the sport's ever known.
That's right.
There's no one even close. I mean, he's the most dynamic personality the sport's ever known.
And he was, for a time there, just such an unbelievable fighter. I mean, he was it was incredible what he was doing.
The Eddie Alvarez fight.
Oh, yeah,
Perfect
I was there.
example.
I was there. Well, thanks to you.
Joe Rogan recalls being amazed by Conor McGregor's fan base during the Mayweather fight. He said the entire Mandalay Bay was flooded with fans from Ireland, all singing and celebrating through the casino, creating one of the wildest scenes he's ever witnessed.
Everyone from Ireland came to Vegas for that fight. It was the nuttiest thing I've ever seen in my life. The entire Mandalay Bay was overcome with Irish people. I mean, overcome like you couldn't move. There was nothing but Irish people everywhere, and they were singing. They were all singing together in the halls of this gigantic casino, packed, like they're waiting in line for something, and they were just there partying for Conor.
I remember, I think it was when, I want to say it was when...
Like, look at all these people.
Yeah, it was nuts, dude.
Bro, this is nuts, man. They were all Irish people. Like, you got to realize nobody had a following like him. Like, this is actually Irish people for the Floyd Mayweather fight. They were still ride or die with him even for that fight.
Chael Sonnen confirms that Conor McGregor is returning. He says he spoke with Conor directly and that a face-to-face meeting with the UFC showed both sides are serious about making the comeback happen.
Conor McGregor is coming back. Guys, I'm very confident of this. I spoke to Conor myself. Adi Atara went and had a meeting, a face-to-face sit-down with the UFC, because it got to the point where Conor's side is saying, hey, do you guys not think we're serious? Or is it you guys aren't serious? There's a little confusion here over the telephone. Let's talk, right?
Ariel Helwani also updates on Conor McGregor, saying the recent UFC meeting went well. He adds that unless something major goes wrong, it's expected that McGregor will be fighting on July 11th.
This is why I continue to say the master of good timing, the master of good timing, the beneficiary of the best timing in the history of the sport is Conor McGregor, because he is sitting there as everything is kind of, I'm being dramatic here, kind of burning down. That meme of the dog and this is fine. He's kind of sitting there being like, all right, yep, I'm sitting pretty right now. Of course you want me back. And I'm telling you, we told you about the meeting 2 weeks ago. I told you it went well. PT told you it went well. At this point, I think it would be safe to say that it would be a disastrous situation. Something disastrous would have had to have happened if he's not fighting on July 11th. They need this now more than ever. They need Conor McGregor to be on this card. They need Conor to come back. They need the return of the Mac. They need the promo. They need the poster. They need the posts. They need the social. They need all of that. They need people talking. They need people getting excited. They need this guy now more than ever, and they have to do everything in their power to make this happen.
Ariel Helwani reports that Max Holloway is the frontrunner to face Conor McGregor on July 11th. No other fighters, including Jorge Masvidal, are being considered. The UFC appears focused on McGregor's return and is likely offering a major payday, with Holloway confirming he's ready for the matchup.
Max Holloway ain't playing games. So frontrunner Max Holloway, Conor McGregor, he's confirming it right then and there. There haven't been any other rumors about his return. And so I think that the UFC recognizes that they've got to get the biggest star back. I think they're going to pay him better than what they were talking to John Jones about, better than the Conor Benn number, all that stuff. I think people are going to be very excited about it. You know, even Max said 170. Like I said, when Max put out that clip, I knew exactly what he was doing. He hasn't talked about Conor in quite some time. Been doing that, and then he did it, and it made all the sense. Imagine thinking before that BMF title fight, the loser would end up fighting Conor. I think we thought maybe if Max would have won, they would have done a BMF title fight. Perhaps this is an indication that they didn't love the Charles fight. I think we're going to see him July 11th. I saw Masvidal say the UFC wants him to come back and they have an idea who the opponent is. And I saw people say, oh, he's got to be talking about Conor. He's not talking about Conor. The Conor fight is not the one that they're talking about.
Max Holloway welcomes a fight with Conor McGregor, noting it excites him because Conor isn't likely to shoot for takedowns. Holloway says they can meet at any weight and is eager for the matchup, calling it a fun challenge and a chance to get a win back.
I don't think he can make 55. I don't think he wants to, but we can fight whatever weight he wants. I want to get down back. That'd be a fun fight, I think. Conor's not going to shoot. I hope so not, but never say never.
After his loss to Charles, Holloway called out Conor McGregor for his return fight, saying they could fight at any weight and making it clear he was ready for the matchup.
Like I said, man, before the fight I was talking about it. I mean, Conor's there, you know. Conor got one over me. He's talking about coming back. I'm coming off a loss. I mean, it looked pretty fun to get down back, you know, with him. So we see what happens. I know a lot of people are worried about the weight and this and that, but if he doesn't want to cut weight, then I don't want to cut weight. We can do it at any weight, to be honest. It's just about getting it back, you know. So at the end of the day, that'll be a fun fight, but we see what happens. We see what way UFC wants to go, and that's all we can do, you know. Sign me up, man. If 55 is kind of busy right now, we don't know who to pit. I know Conor keep talking about coming back. That'll be a fun fight, you know. That fight really excites me, and weight wouldn't be an issue.
Meanwhile, David Feldman, Conor McGregor's business partner, said that McGregor is now 10 times sharper and more focused than he was in his prime.
I just want to tell you guys this. The best times 10 Conor McGregor you've ever seen right now. Better than he was when he was in his prime. The most focused, wants to do everything right. I mean, he's training his ass off each and every day. He's eating right. He's going to church. He's doing everything he's supposed to do. This is not a Conor McGregor that we've seen in the past couple of years. This is the best Conor McGregor that I've personally ever seen. And I'm talking on TV and everywhere. I've never seen a Conor McGregor like this, more focused than I ever thought he ever could get, but he is.
What's the David Feldman confidence meter at on us seeing him fight at the White House this summer?
Conor had said publicly, you know, that his contract was a little shaky because of the pay-per-view point that he had in there, but I'm sure that the UFC wants Conor McGregor to fight. He's going to fight, and they're going to make it work, and it makes sense for him to fight the White House. So my confidence level is probably around a 99%.
So there is a hope now that Conor might even get a chance to fight at the White House card because changes can still be made and everyone wants him to represent the United States at that historic card. Jorge Masvidal commented on Justin Gaethje representing the US at the White House, saying it's unfortunate that the chosen representative doesn't have many opportunities to make an impact.
You guys know I've been talking about this fight for a while, that only should have got him made if they want to see a dead body. It sucks that the American representative they're going to send, I don't think has many chances. But it is fighting, so I could be wrong. You never know. I was wrong with my Max Holloway, Charles Oliveira. But I just feel in this card, on this particular fight, the odds are very against Gaethje, you know. Gaethje is a game competitor. Man, he could take a hell of a shot. He could give a hell of a shot. He has good defensive wrestling. But all that being said, I think his style is tailor-made for somebody like Ilya. It's quicker, it's harder, and way more technical. Doesn't make the mistakes that Gaethje does. Is Gaethje, you know, gets Homer Simpson and gets heavy-footed and starts to like wobble around and eat a lot of shots to get a shot in. I think this is a very good fight for Ilya to showcase his dominance in the division and his pound-for-pound stake. You know, I would see an early night for Gaethje, and I see Ilya getting his hand raised at all costs.
Jorge Masvidal further insisted that apart from Conor's return, Islam Makhachev versus Ilia Topuria needs to happen no matter what the location. He called it one of the most important matchups in years, saying the significance of the fight can't be ignored, whether it takes place on a massive stage or somewhere unexpected.
Whether it's at the White House or a KFC parking lot, that's the fight we want to see. That's the fight I want to see. I just wanted to get done, you know, one way or another. You know, point blank, period. Whether it's at the White House or it's at New York City, Madison Square Garden. This fight has to get done. And there's going to be distractions everywhere. You know, there's going to be distractions wherever they fight because it's probably going to be the biggest fight of the year when those two step in the cage. You know, not probably. Probably isn't. I can't think of a bigger fight. Only me and Conor's the only bigger fight that I can think of, you know? But other than that, that'll be the biggest fight in a long, long time.
However, Ali Abdelaziz confirmed that Islam Makhachev has a fight scheduled against the #1 contender this July. He added that even if the bout with Ilia Topuria had been offered earlier, Islam would have taken it. But with his summer fight already planned, the UFC announcement is expected shortly.
Islam got offered a different fight at welterweight to be the main event. And Islam said, hey, let's do this in July. You know, he has some stuff going on. And, you know, Dana speak about it. He has some stuff going on, but I can tell you this. If this fight was offered in June, and Islam even have on one leg, he would have took the fight. But in a way, Islam already have a fight in the summer. He have a welterweight #1 contender match against someone. It's a done deal already, and the UFC will announce it probably soon.
Ali also shared that a potential matchup between Islam Makhachev and Ilia Topuria was looked at but quickly ruled out before Islam was informed. He explained that he was initially enthusiastic about the idea, but the plan was dropped before Islam could even weigh in.
Hunter living, Dana White is living. I got called about Ilia to fight Islam. It was middle of the day. Islam was sleeping, and I was excited about it. And after that, I got called back. Said, "Never mind. It's fight's not gonna happen." Before even I talk with Islam, and what I know is so many ways to turn down a fight. I can say I'm gonna fight Francis Ngannou, give me $50 million, right? You know, I don't blame anyone for trying to make the most money they can, because I believe Ilia and Islam is the biggest fight the UFC can make. I think this fight should happen this year.
Ali further shared that the UFC offered Ilia Topuria a fight with Islam at welterweight, but only if he gave up his lightweight title. He questioned whether Ilia was truly willing, pointing out the tough conditions and financial hurdles that could make the matchup less appealing.
Does Ilia really want it? Because if he won it, two things gonna happen. He have to forget his lightweight title. I don't think he wanted to do that. And I don't blame him too, because he just won it, right? But everybody else did. And he's nothing special. He's just like anybody else. And he wants to be paid a lot of money. I can't knock him down for this lot of money. But also, I can say certain kind of numbers to turn the UFC off. You know, is the UFC can they can pay him this number? Of course, they have a lot of money. They can pay any numbers they want if they really want the fight. This is a big enough, important for them, right? But in reality, I didn't even get to Islam.
Meanwhile, Colby Covington expressed his thoughts on this possible fight and backed Ilia Topuria to beat Islam, saying Topuria's striking and low center of gravity make him hard to take down. He pointed to how Topuria handled Alexander Volkanovski and suggested he could pull off a similar result against Makhachev.
Who do you think would win him and Islam?
I think he would beat Islam.
You think so?
I think so. I think he would outstrike. I think he'd outstrike him, and he's so short and center of gravity to the ground. He's not going to be easy to take down.
Yeah.
So I think Islam would have fits trying to take him down. And look what happened when Islam fought Volkanovski the first fight. It was very close. He only won by 1 round, and you saw what Topuria did to Volkanovski. He knocked him out in the 2nd round.
Yeah.
On the other hand, Colby Covington challenges Khamzat Chimaev, saying he'd love to face him on the mats. He criticizes Chimaev for allegedly scamming friends with a meme coin and letting down fans, adding supporters want him to get revenge and put Chimaev in his place.
What about Khamzat? I saw you talk to Neon and kind of call him out too. Yeah. Is he someone you'd like to, you know, wrestle here on the mat soon?
Yeah, Khamzat is definitely someone I'd like to wrestle on the mats. He scammed all his friends with that meme coin. He did a meme coin and put it out there, made like 5 or 10 million, and rug pulled on all his fans. So I know the fans want me to get revenge and they want me to slap him around. So what better place to do it than on the RF mat? I'd love to see Khamzat over here. Khamzat, you got something coming for you, boy. You can hide in the Chechen mountains, do whatever you're doing with the weird sheep over there and stuff. But you got another thing coming for you when I see you on these RF mats.
Shifting his focus to Khamzat's next fight, Colby predicts Chimaev will dominate Sean Strickland, saying Strickland is nearing the end of his career and chasing a big payday. He expects Chimaev to take him down and make the fight look easy.
Does he beat Sean Strickland?
I think he beats Sean, yeah. I think that Sean's, you know, at the end of his career looking for one last paycheck, so I think he takes him down and makes it look pretty easy.
Din Thomas warned that it's impossible to predict how Chimaev and his team might react if Sean Strickland crosses a line. He said Strickland will hype things up and talk trash, but there's no telling how Chimaev will respond, and cautioned that it could get unpredictable. Thomas added that while putting on a show is part of it, Strickland should be careful not to let things go too far.
Like, you know, Sean's going to say some crazy, wild stuff, and then he's going to leave it at that, and he's going to wait for the fight. But you just don't know what Chimaev and his people might do if they're like truly offended.
Right.
Or what he might say or do if they're truly offended.
Yeah. Is that the right approach for Sean though, right? Like, do you want to try to get Khamzat emotional and angry and maybe fight a little different, or is giving this guy any slice of extra motivation like a terrifying thought and maybe not a good idea?
I don't know if I would go that route. I would just, you know, I would kind of maybe focus on my game and maybe not see if I can't rile this guy up anymore, because you just, like I said, man, you never know, man. You never know, man. You can't trust what he's going to do, right? And or not even him. He might got some goons with him that just like, yo, I don't care. You know what I mean? Like, we gonna show up to Jersey and we gonna do what we got to do because I don't care. Like, you don't know what these goons. Like, he might got some goons, man. So if I'm Sean, I'm gonna put on the show, but also too, I'm not gonna let it get too far.
Yeah, watch your six.
You got to be careful with that. Yeah, you gotta be careful.
Israel Adesanya described Chimaev as a bat out of hell, noting his relentless, aggressive style. He added that Strickland might have a chance if the fight goes to the later rounds and avoids takedowns, but Chimaev's non-stop pressure make him a formidable force from the start.
And of course, we have a title fight coming up with Chimaev making that first title defense against Sean Strickland in Newark. You've shared the cage with Strickland before. How big of a dog is he in this fight in your eyes? Can he upset the apple cart?
I think he can if it goes to the later rounds and he doesn't get taken down. But again, Chimaev is a bat out of hell. He's a guy that comes aggressively straight away, and Strickland can match that probably, but we'll see. And they've trained together, so this is probably something that happened in the gym that we are not privy to. So yeah, that'll be interesting, but I look forward to watching it and reacting to it on YouTube.
Israel Adesanya criticized Chimaev for slowing down since becoming UFC middleweight champion. He recalled how Chimaev once dominated the division with frequent fights and said a true champion should keep that same drive and presence in the octagon.
What do you mean by some of the things you've done for the game have been underappreciated?
Okay, I mean, look at the middleweight division now. You know, Khamzat was a very active guy coming up, smoking everybody, fighting multiple times. I think twice in a month even at one point. And now that he's champion, I'm not sure what the deal is. Is it visa issues? Is it injuries? I'm not sure. But now he's got a fight coming up. But you know, the last active champion was me. You know, the last guy who put on the line, regardless, every time called out the best was me. So yeah, that's one thing I can say that people didn't appreciate till, even I didn't appreciate till now that I'm here watching it. And I'm like, damn, this game is slow and just stuck without me. So yeah, that, and I'm sure there's other things as well, but that's one thing I can say that people didn't appreciate, you know, even I might not have appreciated, was how active I was and how much I gave to the game while I was here, or while I was holding the belt.
Israel Adesanya advised Chimaev to maintain the same activity he had before winning the title. He pointed out that frequent fights fueled his rise, just as they did for Adesanya early in his career, and said holding the belt shouldn't slow that momentum.
The middleweight championship has been a little hot potato-like since you last held it in your second reign. Now around the waist, of course, of unbeaten Khamzat Chimaev. What are your thoughts of his takeover at 185 here?
Yeah, he did well to get the belt, but I'm not sure what's holding him up. or why. Maybe it was visa issues. I'm not sure. I don't really follow that. I don't really follow the MMA news as much, but I'm not sure what's holding it up because, you know, I felt like he would be an active champion. He should be an active champion because he's a guy that likes to fight a lot when he was coming up, just like me. But when I got the belt, I didn't let that slow me down. I was active. I was calling out everybody. I was trying to find the best and fight them. So I think he should be doing the same.
Meanwhile, MMA guru views Chimaev as nearly unstoppable at the moment. He notes that while Strickland could try to use wrestling to find openings, Chimaev's continued skill growth and champion experience give him the edge. Guru added that Chimaev's 5-round fight with Dricus du Plessis, who had beaten Strickland before, provided valuable experience and a confidence boost heading into this matchup.
It's hard to pick against Khamzat Chimaev right now. I do think Strickland has the wrestling game to make it a little bit more of a challenge, but man, it's hard to go against Khamzat Chimaev, and he's only going to be getting better as well. Now that he's a world champion, he's had a lot of time to recover, a lot of time to develop his game. 5 rounds with Dricus du Plessis, that's valuable experience. He'd never been 5 rounds. I don't think he'd ever had a 5-round fight booked. Maybe he had on some like weird circumstance, but I don't think he had. And if he did, he finished it in round 1. He'd never been 5 rounds before. That's very good experience against a great fighter like Dricus du Plessis, who has wins over Sean Strickland.
However, Jorge Masvidal favors Sean Strickland over Chimaev, saying he doesn't expect Chimaev to win. He's so confident in Strickland that he even jokes about betting big on him. Masvidal also suggested that Chimaev might hesitate to take the fight, despite their history training together, adding extra intrigue to the matchup.
You know, now I know he went up to 185 and did some big things, but I don't think he beats Strickland. I don't think so.
What? That is a wild take.
I'll bet.
Yo, that's a wild take.
I'm dumping the house on Strickland on that one.
That's a wild take.
I'm gonna put
really?
like 100 bands, and I don't even think Chimaev fights him because they've trained a lot.
This is a wild take.
You'll see my prize picks. I put up 100 bands of my own money. I'm gonna go whap. That's how confident I am. Strickland beats him.
Dude, that would be huge for his legacy if he beats a guy like Khamzat.
He beats him.
Really?
It's a bad style for him. I've seen Sean go with good wrestlers over at American Top Team. Guys that wrestled their whole lives, All-Americans, national champions. And dude, this guy can wrestle defensively. Now, he never uses his wrestling in a fight, Strickland. But if you try to wrestle with him, you quickly find out this guy could wrestle back into me. And that costs a lot of energy. And Chimaev doesn't have the best gas tank, you know?
Adding to the discussion, Bo Nickel describes the Khamzat Chimaev versus Sean Strickland fight as a fascinating clash. He points to Strickland's precise striking, relentless cardio, and awkward, unpredictable style as challenges for Chimaev. Nickel adds that if Chimaev expands beyond his typical takedown game, the fight could highlight his full skill set and show just how complete a fighter he has become.
If Sean Strickland and Khamzat fight, who wins?
I think Khamzat Strickland is the fight to make because Strickland did beat Imavov. The striking ability, you have to lean a little bit towards Strickland. The cardio advantage, you know, I'd say again, Strickland.
His defense is actually not bad. Not just through his striking. I don't think anybody's ever held him down before.
He does have good defensive wrestling.
We know if you can't get Strickland down, and he starts marching downhill, it's a problem. Strickland had this weird style and just kind of throws his hands up to kind of block and leans away to where it's very difficult to hit him. Khamzat has really good striking. If he can switch the mentality to where it's not just, I have to get this guy down, this could be that fight. We really start to see that arsenal.
That wraps up today's video. Share your thoughts on the fight in the comments and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay updated with the latest news and insider breakdowns.